Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go.
I think we're gone. I think we're there.
Now we're there. Now we can see ourselves. Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
And welcome to another episode of the Outsider Circle podcast.
This time coming to you hot at 9 p.m. Eastern Coastal Time, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
On time, in the building. Look at us.
Hey.
Delivering hot content, fresh takes on some slightly outdated movies.
Yes, exactly. And today, the hot takes that we're going to have on the topic of is, that was a horrible sentence, the Mnightshyamalaniverse cinematic universe.
The Mnightshyamalaniverse.
Which is composed of the three films, Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
As of right now, canonically speaking, those are the movies that are in the universe. There's the threat of more.
Yeah, by the threat. By all means, these movies are completely successful enough to warrant more films.
Unfortunately.
He might say unfortunately. Obviously, as you can see, Vin here is going to take one particular stance on M. Night Shyamalan and his series of films. I, however, am going to take the opposite stance. And we're going to talk about it today, and I'm excited.
And with us, as usual, is Mr. Brian on the keyboard, helping us out behind the scenes.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Brian, any hot takes off the bat for some M. Night Shyamalaniverse feelings?
Oh, I'm fairly easy to please, so I like all this stuff.
All right, okay, all right. I hate you so much.
I'm sorry. I like Z Twist.
Oh God. Oh, okay. We're gonna get to that. That's gonna be like a big thing for me later.
There we go.
But yeah. So
you could start off.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So just like as some preface, like for people who don't know, M. Night Shyamalan now has a canonical shared universe, where it began with a standalone movie, Unbreakable, back in like 1990.
No, I think was it 98?
No, 2001.
No, I think it was 2000. Because yes, it was
2000. It was right before 9/11.
Yes, because this is Unbreakable is very interestingly one of the few snapshots we get into the post Columbine, pre 9/11 United States of America.
Yeah,
which is a very precious and almost like fantastical little time of history.
Things were still allowed to explode.
Yes, things were still allowed to explode. Bad stuff was allowed to happen, and we were just kind of all right with that.
Yeah, it was just like there could be acts of terror, and we would call it terrorism because that would be a ludicrous idea at the time.
Yeah. So, but it was
hot on the heels of Sixth Sense.
Yes.
And it was also starred Bruce Willis, everyone's favorite stepdad. And it was basically, from what we gleaned from our research, it was M. Night Shyamalan was now friends with Bruce Willis after making the Sixth Sense with him. And he wrote this as like a speculative script. And he wrote this part for Bruce Willis, and then he wrote the villain with Samuel Jackson in mind. And then just because Hollywood is bullshit and it favors talentless hacks, he got Samuel Jackson on board with the film, and it was a hit. People loved it. People loved Unbreakable, or at least cult loved it. I'm not sure if it was like it's on outstanding like critical success.
It was. I don't remember, but I don't think it was.
It did well. Like it more than returned on its budget.
Yes, and that's one of the threads that's going to be kind of about all of his movies, like outside of the.
People liked it. It was like a new spin on the superhero genre. There wasn't a superhero movie really to talk about yet.
Yeah, there wasn't.
So there was no such thing as like superhero fatigue like we might see today. Where I think that. Now the idea of him having this shared universe comes as a direct result of obviously the MCU and what superhero films have become, which is kind of ironic that he did it first, like the superhero movie. Yeah,
well, the superhero movies were starting to like kind of like bubble in their like the early workings of what it was.
Spider-Man came out in 2002.
Yes, it did, and then Blade, I believe, had come out kind of recently. I think there was a Spawn movie. I'm not really.
There was a Spawn movie in like 1998.
Yeah, and it was all kind of happening around this time of like this late 90s kind of aesthetic, and it was kind of latching on to that. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it just kind of worked out well.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out well enough.
Not enough to like create a legacy for him. Because that's what. Also, it worked out well enough that he continued to get work.
Yes, for him,
people continued to employ him as a writer director. And so we got such great films as Signs and The Village and Lady in the Water, and The Happening.
I haven't seen Lady in the Water in quite a while, but I remember feeling like I liked the movie.
Well, but who could ever forget The Last Airbender?
Oh, plenty of people.
Highlight of his career.
I still haven't seen that, and I had somebody tell me recently to my face that The Last Airbender looked good. Like visually, yes. The story, garbage, but apparently it was very visually appealing.
Someone lied to you.
I don't know. I don't know. I have never seen The Last Airbender. So
Have you seen a trailer?
I don't even think I have. Or not to any
Can we
working
show
memory.
a still image of some of the bending?
Brian, if you could find us some still images of this Last Airbender movie. But
it was not something that anybody wanted to see. No one wants to see a live action Avatar.
Well,
and if they do want to see it, it's not going to be with a fucking like whitewashed cast.
Well, I don't know, man. You would think
there's no white people in Avatar.
There actually, I think there's quite a lot of people of color in the film because M. Night Shyamalan himself is a person of color.
Yeah, but neither Ong nor Korra or Sokka are people of color.
Yeah, because you have to get the white people to come watch the movie. I do remember like Asif Manvi from The Daily Show for some reason had some small role in The Last Airbender, and I always liked him. He's a pretty funny guy.
He is funny, but I mean, I don't know, not enough to save that movie.
Not enough at all.
So The Last Airbender was like one of the last things.
But like, look at that poster. Like that poster's kind of cool looking. Like
yeah, but like that's not what the movie looked like.
I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it. Maybe
Have you
I'll
never been disappointed by a trailer or a game? That's not even it. Like that's look at that. Does that look awesome?
Oh wait, is that Slumdog Millionaire
that's
kid?
Zuko, yeah.
Sync people color. I tell you, it just has to be the lead actors just have to be white, so the white people can come watch it, and then they're fooled. It's like, oh my god, all these other characters that I'm supposed to be relating with are all people of color. Oh no!
When did that movie come out?
Wasn't it like 2008 or something like that?
Nah, it must have been after that. I feel like I was in college.
But either way, like
2010.
Yeah.
this is kind of getting to the crux of my apologist argument for M. Night Shyamalan, which is even though M. Night Shyamalan makes bad art, which I'll just flat out just start saying that M. Night Shyamalan makes bad art. It is visually appealing and exciting bad art.
See, that's
like it is exciting.
He wants it to be narratively good. That's why he does these plot twists. Like,
he really does, but he's not good at that like at all.
He was good at it for The Sixth Sense. He did The Sixth Sense, and then he was like, "Oh, people really like this," and that was what he did then forever.
I don't know. I wonder what broke
like
the
every
man.
movie. So this is the IMDb page right here. Yeah. So he did The Sixth Sense, then Unbreakable, then Signs, The Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening.
Signs was really
so
good.
With the exception kind of Lady in the Water, which was just kind of like wall-to-wall dog shit, and also not, from what I remember, not super twisty.
There was a guy who only exercised one part of his body in that movie, and I don't know why he did that or why M. Night Shyamalan wrote that, but
I don't know.
He did.
Everybody hated this movie.
Was that like an idle hand deal where like it was just one part of his body that was evil?
I don't remember. He was like a warrior person in like this fable thing. I don't know.
But
it was
just
very
off
weird.
The bat, just if you look at all of that, those movies, Sixth Sense, big plot twist at the end of the second act. Unbreakable, big plot twist at the climax of the film.
Yeah.
What's the next? Yeah, The Village, big plot twist at the end of the second act. Lady in the Water, can't honestly remember. The Happening, big plot twist at the end of the second act. The Last Airbender, the whole movie's a plot twist because it's supposed to be good, but it's garbage. After Earth, didn't watch it. You cannot buy Jaden Smith an acting career.
Well, Will Smith certainly tried to.
And then I didn't watch any of that other shit. The Visit, I heard, was bad.
The Visit was his, I think, his first Blumhouse film. And
and then look, Split specifically just says directed by.
What? Really?
It just says directed by there. So like did he not write it?
Yeah, figure that out for us, Brian. Click.
Because they usually, so maybe that's the lesson they learned. You don't let him be writer director. Because that's kind of the one of the points I'm driving.
Does James McAvoy have a writing credit?
He's credited as the writer as well.
So why did it have the parenthetical on his IMDb?
That is weird.
No idea.
But so here's what I mean. Like, so M. Night Shyamalan, he can't.
But
really,
he has one move, and it's every one of those movies is fucking. There's a twist in the end of the second act.
Well, no, he doesn't have one move. He has one like writing move. He can't write for jack shit. And I know you're a writer, and that matters a lot to you with your words and your narrative and all that. But sometimes
it matters to a lot of the movie movie going public too, dickhead.
Obviously not enough of them if M. Night Shyamalan still has a career 20 years deep of twists.
Oh, but okay, but you know, the Unbreakable, right? Unbreakable was a competent film. It was early in his career. It was before he like exhausted himself on the twist. It was a dark, slow movie. It was a lot of dialogue. It was a lot of this guy like figuring out that he is a kind of a superhero, and what does that really mean? And he has like a weird power.
Yeah, it is.
If you can describe the plot of the film because you are the fan of.
Yeah, I am. I'm far much more the fan of all of these movies, really. So Unbreakable.
Yeah.
So ostensibly, Unbreakable's plot is that this guy, I think it was Donald Dunn, I believe is his name, Bruce Willis's character.
Yeah, some kind of fucking stupid comic book name.
Yeah, he's just some kind of schlubby security guard guy. You know, he's a father, and he's like in the middle of getting a divorce with his wife and whatnot. And he's in this huge train crash. Like, he's on a train, and then it crashes, and everybody but him dies.
And it like explodes, kind of.
And he literally walks away from the accident.
From the burning wreckage of a train crash.
Yeah, and so he's just like a little confused, and then he gets approached by Samuel Jackson, who is this guy who has some type of degenerative bone disease where literally all his bones break all the time. And he kind of adopted his own nickname, Mr. Glass.
It's just like that SpongeBob episode where his skin is made of paper and his bones are made of glass.
Yeah, very literally.
And every day he puts himself to sleep with all of his heart attacks.
Yeah, and he also has a fascination with comic books. He's like an upscale comic book dealer. Like he like sells like concept art and like original pieces
like
for
comic book art.
thousands
It's
of
like
dollars.
like an Andy Warhol type almost.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're not originals, but he's like a collector, I guess.
Yeah, he's some type of like, high art collector. He dresses kind of weird. His cane is made out of glass. He calls himself Mr. Glass, like a villain. He's like really into kind of the concept and the idea of the mythos within these comic book characters. And
the movie opens with him, though. Importantly, I think we should say the movie opens with the birth of Mr. Glass.
Yeah,
and he's born. Both of his arms and legs are broken.
And
fucking camera.
It's gonna
Do we
be
have people
that way.
watching? Do we look blue to you when that happens, or is that just something that we see?
No, that's the output of the camera.
Streamed.
Yeah, it's just a little click. But either way, so yeah, he's born with all his bones broken. Just kind of introduces like that's his horrifying existence.
Everything in the world is pain.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, he kind of like finds Bruce Willis's character and tries to meet up with him and be like, hey, so if somebody like me exists who's like super duper brittle and like literally die from anything touching me, somebody like the opposite of me has to exist. And hearing about you from that train crash, I think you're that opposite. And then so Bruce Willis starts to explore his power, kind of realize he's never gotten
Well, the whole reason that he even meets this guy, right, is that when the train explodes, he like goes to his car, and on his car is like a little card that says, "Have you ever been sick?"
Yeah.
And it's like this guy's business card.
Yeah, and it was super cool because it was like a business card that said limited edition on it because that's the name of his store, and it was like in kind of gold embossed lettering on a fucking card. It was very extravagant.
It was
very
classy affair.
Visually appealing.
I mean, like a comic book. Yeah.
So he starts meeting with the guy, and he's at first he's a little spooked about it, and then his son gets enraptured by the idea, and then there's like some kind of plot points with that, which
because he starts like deadlifting like 300 pounds.
Yeah, he does, and he just fucking does it easy.
Yeah, he like starts doing some superhero shit.
Yeah, and then we end up discovering he kind of has this weird power where if he like touches somebody, he can like see like their crimes.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. That's the power. Like that's the weirdest superpower. Like the super strength and the unbreakableness. I get it. He's like a white Luke Cage, and the bald too.
Yeah,
but like he touches people and he's like, I know all the crimes you've ever committed. And it's like, you raped somebody, you murdered somebody, you about to murder somebody, you got some kids held hostage right now. Oh shit, you got some kids held hostage right now. And then he go rescue some kids.
But his one weakness for, I forget why, is water.
It's because he like almost drowned as a kid.
I guess, yeah. So he almost drowned as a kid, so water is just his weakness. And it's just, so it goes through this. and the kind of plot.
The whole movie is like a superhero origin story set against him trying to figure out why that train exploded.
Yes, exactly. And the movie just kind of plays out like from that point forward, and it's not the most like inventive or like innovative thing. Actually, it might be because it is a superhero origin story,
and it's not. It's like it's an original story. Like that's not a hero based on anything.
Actually, now that I think about it, all the other movies that came after it were kind of bullshit copies of Unbreakable.
Yeah, they were adaptations. Well, they were adaptations of their own comic books.
Yeah, but like the formula that like kind of was formed.
No, well, Shyamalan has gone on record to say that he wanted it to feel like a comic book. He did a comic book like 3-act structure for an origin story.
Well, I mean, I think it worked. But so
and it did well. People liked it. You were not alone in that thinking.
Yeah, and it
and I when I was first watching it when I was younger, definitely liked it. But it's hard to watch that film now against the backdrop of all the other superhero shit and all the other Shyamalan shit.
Yeah, I will say, compared to now superhero things, it is very slow and very low action. There's like maybe 2 or 3 fight scenes in it. One of them is like this particularly long take in the house with the kids that were abducted or whatever. And it's like it's a long take fight. And which kind of gets to another point that Unbreakable has a lot of these really long takes.
A lot of them.
And Brian, if you can do me a favor and look up who the cinematographer for Unbreakable was on IMDb. It'll be in the crew.
Probably fucking Shyamalan.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be like really surprised if it was. But whoever it was really decided to lean against like the whole long shot takes. Because even in the beginning,
it's like panels of a comic book.
Yeah, even in the beginning, with the introduction scene where he's on the train and he's like talking to this woman next to him, it's the camera moves between the seats. Like it's kind of from the point of view of this kid from like one seat in front of them, kind of looking between the seats at him and this woman. And the way that the camera kind of frames itself always, like in this one continuous shot, really does frame it up like a comic book, which I think not only was it successful in that feeling, but it was successful in kind of like framing what you're supposed to see and get conveyed from that image, just very like concisely, just like there's nothing else. But
we see him take off his wedding ring to flirt with this lady.
Yeah, and it's very well shot.
The movie is pretty well shot in general,
and that's the thing. Like M. Night Shyamalan might not be able to like write excellent movies or kind of
he can write 75% good movies, but he cannot write good endings.
He can't, but he's like excellent at like the work of filmmaking, the visual medium of filmmaking. He's particularly good at.
He has a good eye for the camera. Like he knows where he wants to put people and stuff. But like you need more than that. Like Wes Anderson has a good eye for the camera and storytelling ability.
Well, actually, I think it's like traditionally you don't need more than that. Like it would be more
to be a good movie maker, to be like one of the greats.
Yeah, but not to be one of the greats, but just to be successful in the industry.
Yeah, but why would you? No, you don't.
But here's the thing.
You're not going in there to make fucking factoring films. Shyamalan certainly doesn't. He cares about all these films.
No, that's the thing. Usually, if you're only good at like the visual aspect, you can't really write a script for shit. You would get picked up by somebody. You'd be like, hey, can you direct this movie for the screenplay that I really like? I'll give you the money. You direct it. I'll have some input, and then finished product gets made. This is where your skills are at. Go do what you're good at. I'll do the things that you're not good at. But he, for some reason, insists at every possible time to write and direct his own films and produce and just put all his own work into these stories of his. And the crazier part about all of that is that he manages to continually get them made. People give him money. People have been giving him money for almost 20 years to make these movies.
Because then sometimes they'll give him less money. They'll be like, okay, M. Night, we trust you to make a good looking movie, but will you give us a return? Because we saw Avatar, and some people thought it looked okay, but that shit bombed. So then they gave him. So after Avatar and The Visit, which were all not great,
this is
his like real return to form after following up on Unbreakable, basically in this universe.
By the way,
very
the cinematographer was Eduardo Serra.
Yeah, I just.
What else has he done?
He's done a bunch of things nobody's really heard. He did Blood Diamond.
76.
He did Blood Diamond?
Yeah, he did Blood Diamond. He did Harry Potter 7 Part 1 and Part 2.
Wow.
He did I don't even know any of these movies.
A lot of French stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he
mostly
seems like
French stuff.
this guy seems like he's a career cinematographer. Like exactly what should have happened to M. Night Shyamalan. He just gets picked up to direct things while somebody else just throws him a script.
Right.
But for some reason, he's so passionate about filmmaking. Like, if you see the interviews of this man, like, he believes what he's doing is good. Like, he believes it in his heart and soul.
Yeah, he made Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening. I would argue that his real power finished with The Village. Like, that was probably like the last decent movie he made before he started going downhill.
Yeah.
The Happening had Mark Wahlberg and a big budget, but nobody liked it.
Yeah, well, it was. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's quite possibly one of like the best bad movies ever.
Dog shit. Complaints.
It's so fucking bizarre. It's like watch it if you like bad movies, give it a watch, please. It has fucking John Leguizamo in it.
It has Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah, she's
what the fuck.
Yeah, the top three people are Mark Wahlberg, Zoe Deschanel, and John Leguizamo.
That's an insane cast for that fucking movie.
I know it's bizarre.
But so I feel like he lost a lot of his reputation in Hollywood, so people were less inclined to work with him. So then Split
came out.
The next movie in the M. Night Shyamalan extended Shyamalaniverse.
And I'm a huge part
This movie was made with a budget of $9 million.
Which is impressive. Like, I don't know if anybody knows. Oh, I yell about it all the time. So if you're listening, you probably kind of have some idea of how much movies cost. But $9 million is not a lot of money for a movie with somebody as like big of a star as James McAvoy.
Honestly, half of that $9 million must have just gone to James McAvoy.
Just for comparison, Unbreakable was done with a production budget of $75 million, and Glass was done with $20 million.
Yeah, like
wait, Unbreakable had $75 million.
Yes,
and Split was like, I think between the three of them, the biggest success.
Jesus.
Just going off the gross.
Well, Split was made for nothing, and it made so much money.
Yeah. And so you got James McAvoy on board, who
in the middle of his fucking Magneto fame.
Yeah, this is like there's what, 2 more, if not 3 more X-Men films coming after that, and 2 at least before that. Like he's at some peak fame at this time, and he decides to go on with M. Night Shyamalan on Split, and that is what caught me, because I've seen some other films of James McAvoy's, and that motherfucker can ham it up. I don't know if anybody remembers seeing
Filth.
No, not Filth. Filth was very good, and he was very expressive in that. But the movie where he can curve the bullet, Wanted.
That's Wanted.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody remember Wanted. I saw Wanted. It was not that great, but he was pretty good and fun in it. And he was
in Deadpool 2.
He was in Deadpool 2.
He was Charles, uncredited.
Who the fuck is Charles?
Charles Xavier.
Oh my god.
The X-Man.
Yeah, my bad.
The X-Man.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Charles?
But yeah, so James McAvoy, I've seen him in stuff. He's expressive. He likes to have fun on his movie sets. So I was super duper excited for Split, and to me, Split did not disappoint at all. James McAvoy fucking played his heart out in that movie.
Let's talk about Split now.
And dear Jesus, it was wonderful. Now Vin's gonna shit on Split for 15 minutes.
So
it's warranted.
So Split, Split was Leo hard sold me Split. Like he liked the movie. I was like, I don't know, I'm not Shyamalan, I'm not. And so this was in 2016 or 17 when it was new. But so we watched it, or I watched it at some point with our other friend Chris, and this was another classic Shyamalan movie. I really liked it for 75% of it.
He's really good at making 75% of a movie.
Well, I'm not sure how much credit I'm giving him, because James McAvoy really acted his heart out in that movie. He good. He plays at least fucking 19 characters that he bounces between. He plays 4 or 5 of them a lot more than the rest of them. But then it all builds. So it's basically the whole premise of the film is that this fucking crazy psychopath, or this, what do they call it, multiple personality disorder?
Yeah, or
dissociative identity or something.
Whatever the correct term for it is.
Yeah. Well, this is probably not an accurate reflection of people who have this condition, obviously. But he has 23 personalities, and he kidnaps these 3 cheerleaders and holds them hostage in some basement somewhere. And most of the movie is just him like psychologically tormenting these 3 teenagers, and like they're like
in between him
like trying to escape a couple of times. I really think that they didn't really try to escape a whole lot. They didn't put their whole heart in it.
Yeah, well, one of the characters did get like fear shock, like the deer in the headlights, but like the main character girl, I forget her name is, but she's getting more fame in the general horror.
Is she?
Yeah, she's getting pulled for some horror movies. She was pretty good in it, I think. Like just kind of the deer in the headlights.
She was just kind of nothing. Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
No, she has black hair. There we.
Yeah, that's her. That's the main girl.
Why does she have blonde hair? Oh my God, she looks so different.
You know, people don't always have the same hair, man.
You could fool me. But yeah, because she was like abused, and that was a very big point of the film.
Yeah, so
you can get into that, because I know you have gripes with that.
Because it is so fucking bad. It's like you can argue that the movie on the face of it is harmful because of its depiction of like the dissociative identity disorder or whatever. But it doubles down on that. So like after it does like a pretty good time, like being a tense, thrilling movie about like power and abuse and also like the literal horrifying situation that they are in, and the whole time they're threatening that there's like he has all these personalities. What are their names there? Can you read them, Brian? They're credited right there on IMDb.
Oh my God.
Those are the top billing.
Okay.
These are the characters' names that he's
there's
listed
24
playing.
of them, but the ones that matter are Dennis, Patricia, Hedwig, the Beast, Kevin Wendell, Crumb, Barry, Orwell, and Jade.
I like how they put the Beast in the middle.
Well,
like,
the Beast I think had more screen time than the other ones.
It did. Probably. But so that's the thing, right? So of all those, like, there's 20-something characters. 24?
24 total, yeah.
24 total. These are the ones that probably have the most speaking time. But the Beast is the one that's like threatened throughout the entire movie. Like, this is the one that's coming for you. This is the one that's gonna fucking be the thing.
Yeah, and like all the characters are afraid of the Beast. Like every single personality that comes out for whatever reason, they're just like, you gotta make sure you don't bring out the Beast. Like the little kid's just like, oh my God, the Beast. You gotta watch out for the Beast. Patricia's like, we have to follow these rules so the Beast doesn't come out and destroy everything. Everybody's afraid of the Beast.
Yeah.
And
it's like the one time where you were in your head, the only ways that there's 2 ways that this M. Night Shyamalan movie can go.
Yeah.
It's either that this is going to be like a committed, like slow burning thriller about being trapped with a legitimately unstable individual and the dangers that they pose, and that's good. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Or you can do an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and you can throw a twist in there and just do the thing that you keep telling us that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And make that the Beast character an actual monster, like an actual spiritual monster, like a fucking supernatural beast. It crawls on the ceiling, like it is an actual. It takes over. His body changes shape and size.
He becomes bulletproof.
He can bend iron bars. Yeah, look at that. Just look at that still image right there. If you can bring that up for the people.
Yeah. I'll be honest, this was probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan twist. Like, all the other ones kind of feel real hokey and whatnot, but I don't know what it was about this one, but this one got me, because like
for all the twists,
I was sitting there convinced, just like the Beast, it's just him being crazy. He's just a horrifyingly unstable man who like kidnaps girls for whatever his sick purposes of torturing them is, and the Beast is just going to be like him angry
or the twist could have been something maybe that would have been even cooler, and like the Beast is just like his regular scared self. Like just like his regular base, like the person he was before the disease set in.
Yeah.
And then it says something greater about mental illness.
Yeah.
Because then like all of his personas are afraid of his actual normal self.
Yeah. But no, Beast is
a literal beast.
He's bulletproof. He climbs on walls. He's horrifying. He's fast.
He speaks
strong.
in a devil voice.
Yeah. And I don't know, like it was the one twist that actually got me out of all the M. Night Shyamalan twists. Like all the other ones I kind of predicted, just like, or just like they were just so ridiculous that like you can't even think of it.
This was the only one that got me to the point where, like, had I not been watching this on my personal computer in my apartment, I would have left the theater. But the thing is, I would have missed, and honestly I should have just stopped watching at that point, because after we learn that his beast is an actual beast, he like chases down the girls. I think he kills 2 of them, right?
I think only the main character girl survives.
Right. And why does only the main character girl survive? Why? Because he has her cornered. He's got her dead to rights. And the whole movie they've been playing up why she freezes when there's danger. Like she like does not know how to act when she's in like a compromised situation. And it's been flashing back to like this when she was like sexually assaulted by a family friend or an uncle of hers or something like that. And when she's wearing a cheerleader outfit, 'cause they're cheerleaders, and she's like scrambling back into the corner, and then like you can see like scars on like her inner thighs from the, like I guess when she like tried to fight off the abuse. Or I don't know.
I thought it was like cutting herself
or something. Yeah, or something like that. Like as coping with it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, she has visible scars in places that people wouldn't see. And when the beast sees that, it literally stops, and it's like I don't know what the actual dialogue was, but effectively what it was, oh, you're broken just like me. You get to live.
And then he scurries away.
Yeah.
And then the movie, I forget
and then the movie ends, and then he just like fucking weirdly horse gallops into the distance.
I forget if it.
Oh, and they bury the universe because they have Bruce Willis turns up in the like the very end. There's like a news report of this fucking crazy guy abducting children, and then like Bruce Willis like, huh? Like looking at the TV.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my god, this is a universe, which got me excited for what ultimately was going to be the last movie of or not the last movie, but the next movie of Glass.
But I feel like that, Glass.
Yeah,
Glass is another beast again.
Yeah,
but Split, like,
Brad, can you show?
Split made people go fucking bananas. Split.
Show the people the poster.
I saw people talking about Split for months on the internet. Up and down the lawsuits.
Get that poster up.
For Glass.
Show people all these wonderfully old actors now.
Not yet though. Let's finish talking about Split.
Okay.
Because like there was a lot of Split hype at the time. Like not only just James McAvoy being in it, but like it made people trust Shyamalan again. They I think it revitalized this man's career.
I really think it did. Like, because from there, that's when he kind of had his like most recent kind of renaissance of filmmaking. Everything's
now he has an Apple TV show coming out and an extended universe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Glass did well enough too that they're probably going to make another one.
It was a very relative to its cost. It was very successful. I think it was what 240 something million. No.
20 million for production, and it grossed 111 million.
Yeah, that's it. That's a success. It's not a fucking like it's not a Marvel movie success, but like, it's up there.
It made more than its money back, and that's all that really needs to do.
I'm not sure how much marketing they did. They did a significant amount, but not.
Well, here's the thing. They almost kind of sent this thing out to pasture. So this thing was released in January.
Really?
Yeah, and for those who aren't aware, January is the month where all the
was that January in 2019? That was this year.
Yeah, that was January this year.
Wow.
When films come out in January, basically the film publishers are saying, we're sending this movie.
Yeah, it's not like an Academy Award contender. It's not a blockbuster.
Yeah, because January, at least in the American market, traditionally,
and there ain't nobody going to the movies.
Yeah, nobody's going to the movies.
They just spent all their holiday money.
Exactly. Like everybody's just kind of trying to recover with the new year, so they just kind of release all the garbage movies out there, and they just say, "Oh my God, they did so horribly," blah blah blah, and then that's it. Then they write them off.
And February's not great either.
Yeah.
They have a couple of rom-coms for Valentine's.
Yeah, and
but wow, I'm surprised Glass did this well.
Yeah, and it did more than well enough. Like
did anybody like it?
I kind of liked it. I have
a couple of my coworkers liked it. I think.
Like, I watched it and I had a thoroughly enjoyable time. It was like, it really felt like M. Night Shyamalan's kind of like Avengers movie, where it's not like,
well, obviously,
yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do. But
Sarah Paulson is fucking Nick Fury.
Yeah, and
what?
Yeah, but
also Sam Jackson is also Nick Fury.
Well, no, Sam Jackson is like the evil villain.
But he's also the guy who brings them together.
Yeah, I mean, he's just really smart.
I didn't finish Glass. I can't remember how it ends.
I can get it to you. But like the Sarah, whatever her name was,
Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, she's evil Nick Fury. Like that's the thing. So like,
she's not even really evil.
Yeah,
she's like is trying to do the greater good for mankind. If like the superheroes walk around unhinged like that all around the place, you gotta fucking restrain that shit.
Yeah. So, but basically, the premise of the film at this point is that all of these characters at some point, Mr. Glass, the guy from Split, and Bruce Willis's character, for whatever reason, they get arrested and then they get put into a.
What do you mean for whatever reason?
I forget.
The Beast is kidnapping girls again. That's the opening of the movie for him.
Oh yeah.
And then fucking Unbreakable Man, Bruce Willis, like captures him.
Yeah.
And Mr. Glass is already in this. This is the insane asylum that Mr. Glass was sent to in the end of Unbreakable, or if he was transferred from that one into this one.
Yeah. So all of these people then get arrested and get put under the same household, or under the same roof.
In Sarah Paulson's medical
care
research facility.
Yeah. And her thing is that she's specializing in people who think that they are extraordinary characters, thinking that they are these kind of supernatural supervillains or superhero supervillains. And she's very hard in a very kind of clinical manner, trying to.
She's very Nurse Ratchety, but with a smile.
Yeah, like trying to psychologically bash this idea out of their head to just get them to like realize that they're just cute people. They're just people that are doing extraordinary things. There's nothing special about them. They're just doing it because it is possible.
Right.
And
which is like I said, I think it's a dumb conceit. I think this whole movie is such a dumb fucking premise because we saw him climb on a ceiling. Yeah, like we saw that happen.
This is after like we know for a fact like supernatural things are established, and it spends the whole movie just trying to
gaslight them and the audience.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like about 30-40 minutes in, like they had me. It's just like, is me like nah, like the Beast guy was. I saw a bullet hit him and then
yeah.
Like
I saw that dude bite someone's throat open. I'm pretty sure that this is not.
But maybe like Bruce Willis like was almost convinced. Like he was by far the most level-headed character out of all of them.
Yeah, because he fancies himself as like the hero.
Yeah,
the other guys are just like, yeah, I'm a villain. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, like Sam Jackson's character very much he leans into that comic villain. Like he loves all the comic books, so he can be the comic book villain.
And then what is his super smart ass plan to escape his cell? Slash a guy's throat with a broken piece of glass.
Yeah.
Oh, genius move.
I worked. I don't fucking know.
I could think of that, and I am not super villain level genius.
Yeah. It wasn't the best writing.
Hey, how did Mr. Glass kill you? Oh, it was a glass. Oh.
It's almost ironic.
Did M. Night Shyamalan write this movie?
Stupid. But yeah, so
I feel like some fucking Hollywood exec who worked with him like 10 years ago is gonna walk into the room when they're making the next super production movie that he's doing, and that person will be like, "Hey, who let him back in here?
Who gave this man money?
Have you seen The Last Airbender?"
Yeah. So, but throughout the whole movie, they were hyping up because Sam Jackson's character was very much romanticizing the reuniting of him and his rival of Bruce Willis's character, and how they're going to have
his Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and how him and the Beast and Sam Jackson are all going to get on the rooftop of this building in the city. I forget what city it is. It's like some mid-rate city in the United States. Like a zero
city.
So like some like 2 buildings
Salt
for a
Lake,
skyline.
probably. Who knows?
I don't know. But that they were going to have this huge fight on the top of the building.
Also,
and everybody was going to see it, and like they were going to reveal it to the world.
Very clearly, there are superheroes.
Yeah, but
it takes no convincing on his part to get the Beast totally on his team.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like immediately, the guy's like, "Yep, that's my guy. That's the boss."
He's the only one talking sweet to his ear, man.
Yeah.
He's in a mental facility where they're trying to bang out all the 24 of his mental personalities to convince them that the Beast isn't real, which everybody's seen the Beast be real.
Right. Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
I don't know if you know this, but people can't crawl on the ceiling, but the Beast can.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I saw it. I saw him.
I was him when he did it. It was impressive.
And like I think so. The twist for that movie is like a bit of a subtle twist. Well, there's like two twists.
It's not even really a twist. It's
There's two twists. Maybe one of them might be a subversion almost, but I would say the first one that's kind of more of a subversion is the whole narrative of fighting on top of the tower. Or the top of the building. The whole time they were romanticizing like the whole film. They was like, we're gonna have this fight in the big tower. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be grand, and everybody's gonna see it, and we're gonna be revealed to the world, and nobody's gonna be able to deny our existence anymore. Blah blah blah. And then like Sam Jackson keeps on talking it up, and like throughout the thing, he's reaching his steps to like get outside of the asylum, get into a car, get driven out there, and then letting Bruce Willis's character loose so that he has to follow them. Or not only does he have to because he's morally obligated, but he has the ability to because he's now free from his captive.
And what is it? Okay, but also let's just talk about the captivity real quick, because so Mr. Glass is a man who's in a literal wheelchair.
Yes.
So his captivity is just a locked room.
Yeah.
It has fancy locks, I think.
Yeah. If he were to fall and even just out of his wheelchair, he would just fucking die.
Break
at this point. He's very old now.
Yeah, he was old and broken and glass.
Yeah.
The Beast, a plot point in Split in terms of like how to like
deal with
the Beast is flashes of light to like switch his personality out.
Yeah, like if you just it's like a flash of light from a camera, just a bunch of lights just on off. It'll just cycle through them.
Yeah.
It's just like you just keep on doing it until you get the right voice that you want to talk to.
Right, exactly. So they have all these like lights set up in his
and they
room.
have one really inventive scene, I think, with that where it's like it's a long shot of a camera circling both of them as like the flashing light just happens.
And keeps changing the personality.
Yeah, and it's Mr. Glass just in the room with the Beast, just kind of like just triggering him all the time, just like just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well done.
Yeah, but it's just a series of like it's like paparazzi flashes to keep him locked down. It's like all right, fine, I'll take it. Bruce Willis's fucking defense system to keep him from superheroing the way out of his room is sprinklers.
Oh yeah,
it's sprinklers. It's a sprinkler system.
But like it floods the room though.
But right,
it's
but not quickly.
No, but they're high pressure like hoses in the room. I think if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, there are.
They knock him on his ass. Like it's like getting hit with a fire hose. I mean, yeah, it's stupid.
It's a real ass deterrent for most human beings.
Also, he's afraid of water, bro. That's his weakness.
Right, but it's
and
like,
they know that.
Sprinkler.
It's pretty funny, honestly.
It's just like they really thought about the dude who shapeshifts into different personalities. It's like, oh, that dude's afraid of water. Fucking waterboard him.
What I mean, tell you twice? Just fucking dump him in some water. He stops. Like, look at him.
Yo, put him in the aquarium room. We don't have one of those. Build one. I want a room that can flood at the drop of a dime. Why? For one guy who's afraid of drowning. Oh, okay. Yeah. He's really strong.
Yeah, it works out.
And doesn't he like get over the fear anyway? I
forget.
I can't remember. I didn't finish it. We got like a little over halfway through the movie, and then all the people that we were watching with, because by this time there was more people watching than just me.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Can we stop? Can we stop watching this movie?"
But yeah, so let me give you like the ending. So he has the means to get everybody out. So and everybody gets out, and there's like.
So does he break Bruce Willis out?
Kinda, yes.
Okay.
And then they bring the girl from Split along to be like bait, like very.
Who's they? Who's Sarah Paulson's character?
No, I think I forget.
Or evil or Glass.
I don't remember anymore. Brian.
It's not a memorable movie.
He hits with a synopsis, but basically they go out into the parking lot of the asylum, and they have their huge fight there. And that's kind of like the twist / subversion, because while they're having their huge fight, which is very visually appealing, like it's a very interesting fight sequence, the cops are like fucking hounding in. They're coming soon. Like there's a whole fucking
like
team.
That's not really the twist of the movie. The twist of the movie is that the twist of the movie is that there's really not a twist. Is that the superpowers are real. They are actually super people. And the only way to combat them is to make them believe that they are not superheroes,
Which
because
is
that makes them not super. That's what Sarah Paulson's whole mission is.
And apparently it works.
It works.
If
You can just fucking program people to not live up to their full potential.
Which
Is it a commentary on the apathy of modern society? Avant-garde, M. Night. If you don't believe in yourself, you won't be what you are.
Yeah, it's
Fucking insane, bro.
no, but more importantly, there's a secret organization of people trying to keep you down, making you believe you can't do what you're supposed to.
Right, and so for this reason, we're kind of implied to root for Mr. Glass,
Yeah,
who is like
ostensibly
distinctively the villain, though. Like he's like, I'm the bad guy. I want to do bad stuff.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
he's also just like, I want to live a liberated life where I'm free to be my supervillain self, and he could be the beast, and he could be that whiny baby who's afraid of the water.
yeah, and
Bitch precious a truck, but he doesn't want to go in the kiddie pool.
but like
That's my Samuel Jackson impression.
it's admirable. Like I think so. Like he has a good motive. It's not like it doesn't have a stupid motive here. Everything else is kind of stupid around it, but like his core reason to do the things that he wanted to do is compelling, and like it was just compelling enough to like pull everything together.
Yeah, a guy who was born with all of his bones breaking, and like it's a real condition you can have is that we have real super brittle fucking everything.
Yeah.
He makes it up in his head that superheroes must be real, and then M. Night Shyamalan rewards his psychopathy by making him correct.
I guess M. Night Shyamalan really wants to believe, man. I don't like.
But
maybe he sees like a bit of himself in this. So, like
at the end of Glass, they're all dead, right? Or are they alive?
Glass dies. I think Beast dies.
They all die horribly, especially our man Bruce Willis. He dies the worst because they drown him in a literal puddle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
He loses all of his power in an inch of water.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah, it was. But they got to live their dream for that little second.
But so this is what I'm saying. So is this the end of the extended universe, or is there gonna be more?
At the end of that scene, what it leaves is Casey, the girl who had befriended the Beast at the end of Split, and it also leaves Bruce Willis's kid, like extremely furious at the entire situation and now knowing the truth.
And Sam Jackson's mom too.
Yeah, so I guess they're supposed to carry on the
Sam
legacy.
Jackson's mom?
Yeah, well, yeah, the woman who played Sam Jackson's mom in the first movie.
She's still alive?
Yeah, well, she's younger than Sam Jackson. But like, it's a really shitty ending, and then we find out about the organization. Maybe the continued universe is going to be about this further organization trying to.
Or maybe they're just going to make Bruce Willis's kid a super as well, because now all he knows that all you have to do is truly believe in yourself.
Yeah,
and maybe the girl too.
They might.
What's her power going to be?
It's being damaged.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's just being broken.
Yeah, she's a survivor.
She has all the power of a John Green protagonist.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a joke for like 6 people in the audience. Do we even have 6 people in the audience? Hey, hopefully they all read books. You know who should have read more books? M. Night fucking Shyamalan.
Oh, 100%.
And not comic books.
Yeah, but most importantly,
why do we keep giving this man money to make movies?
Yes, exactly. Who okay? So I think I had, like, after thinking about things for a little bit, I have a case for his last few films, and I think so. In 2016, 2015, 2017, he made The Visit, which was a Blumhouse production. Now, for those of you who might not know what Blumhouse is a horror production studio that kind of came to fame by picking up Paranormal Activity from the people who made it for fucking nothing. He ostensibly picked it up for nothing. I think it was like $150,000 or something like that. Not too much. And that movie made gangbusters. That movie made millions. There was that profit margin on that movie was so ridiculous. It's insane. And the thing is, with horror films in general, the thing for that, like, that's just a common occurrence. You can throw like $3 million there, $4 million there.
Wait, what? How much? Visit did well too.
How much money did The Visit cost?
Production was $5 million, and the domestic was $65 million.
Yeah,
That's
just
not
domestic.
bad.
I don't know. Yeah, so and that's Blumhouse's formula.
Worldwide was almost 100 million. I mean,
Yeah, like so Blumhouse figured out this formula.
What the fuck was The Visit about?
like evil grandparents.
Yeah,
I think,
weird
or some
evil
shit.
grandparents. Yeah, it was, yeah. There was a rapping.
ass.
There was a little white kid who like wanted to be a rapper. It was really bad, but people went to go see it. Blumhouse gave him $5 million to make it, and that's kind of his formula. He just gives a bunch of people small amounts of money to make a bunch of horror films, and then if even just one of them makes it, that covers the profit line for everything. So the Blumhouse has been doing this for years now. And now they even have some higher end stuff on their backs. Like Get Out was a Blumhouse production.
Who started this? It's just some guy.
Some guy named something Blumhouse. I forget who his name
Was he a filmmaker?
Jason.
Oh my God!
Jason
Happy
Blumhouse.
Death Day.
Yeah, Happy Death Day, which got a sequel because it was so successful. Happy Death Day.
So he's the guy who's making these movies.
Yeah, this is the one guy giving everybody the money to make these movies.
Oh, he did The Purge.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fucking dive on this fucking production studio in one of these episodes.
Yeah, like it's like there's literally an interview with him where he's like making fun of somebody who's like kind of like talking out his points. He's just like, yeah, he just gives a bunch of money to a bunch of little films. Like, it's not rocket science, and he's just like, yeah, it's not rocket science. He gives some money to some talented people. Tell them to make a horror movie. Boom, you print money.
Yo, hey, what's his name? Jason. Yo, Jason, we'll make a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, we'll make something real scary.
I'll do it for less than $5 million too.
Yeah, give us
Do it for $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. We're same wavelength. But that, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you got this team.
We'll send you our pitch video after we're done making fun of your production company.
Yeah. So
Hire us.
So he got picked up for Split. I think it was a Blumhouse production. The Visit was a Blumhouse production, and I don't know under what circumstances it happened, but then Glass was self-produced by M. Night Shyamalan. Glass was $20 million, I believe, in budget. He paid for it. He paid for everything. And then all the money that it made back,
is also his then?
Yeah, $247 million. Whatever cut of that like goes to like him being producer, director, writer, all the things. That is a huge chunk.
Right. So he made
millions of dollars.
Yeah. He just made it possible for him to self-fund probably a bunch of his movies.
Like at least 4.
Yeah.
Like this man could live lavishly and make 3 more movies without even have to worry about money anymore.
Yeah.
And
oh my God.
And it's ridiculous.
That's the trick, I guess. You make a couple of decent student films, and then a studio exec's gonna take a chance on you because you're a young, promising upstart. You get one famous friend, and then you rope him into a second movie, make that a cult hit. So you got one big hit and one cult hit, and then you can just kind of fucking do whatever you want. You see 2 good movies.
You just ride that for life.
Yo, I think we got 2 good movies in us.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Blumhouse, hit us up.
We're gonna make a really
give
good
us
movie.
$2 million. We'll make 2 movies, $1 million a pop, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. Yeah, there are gonna be so many fucking people in those movies watching those scary films. Like,
yo, don't you want to give a couple of urban street youths the opportunity to make something of themselves?
Exactly. Yeah. Help the community.
You got the the man of color for the people of culture, and then you got me to sell it to middle America. It's perfect.
Yeah, all the bases covered.
We can keep Brian in the back as well, so that we have another person of color, but he doesn't have to be in front of the camera and make people feel awkward about it.
It's called the inclusivity writer. You can call it on certain sets. 50% of the people got to be people of color. You don't even have to try with us.
We got 66% of the people in this room are people.
We don't even know that many white people. He's white. You know how many white people know? Like a handful. Literally, we can count them.
Yeah. Anyway. Somebody give us money so we can do these professionally and we don't have to do any work anymore.
Well, then that's just going to be our work.
That's fine. This will get a lot better. Trust.
But yeah, so like, and I don't know. I can't explain. I try to explain this. I try to give reason to the madness that this world has been living in for the past 20 years. But I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan is ostensibly a successful filmmaker. In the metrics that matter to us in American society, M. Night Shyamalan is successful. Like,
he memed his way to an entire successful career with Charles Xavier, Samuel Jackson,
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis didn't even look like he wanted to be in the
There's been a couple other fucking big winners in there too. Mel Gibson. Signs.
Joaquin Phoenix in The Village and Signs.
And then fucking
Paul Giamatti in Lady in the Water.
Fucking Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch in The Happening.
Yo, all the people he got in The Happening. Did you know why Mark Wahlberg is like on record been like when asked about The Happening, he's just like, hey, when am I given a role that isn't comp or criminal? Like, I was a science teacher. I had to jump on this.
That's fair. Like, listen, I had a mortgage payment due. Okay, fucking sue me. My brother was starting a burger chain restaurant. I had to fucking throw some.
And that's to my knowledge, has been a pretty successful burger restaurant.
Yeah, and The Happening paid for it.
Thanks, M. Night Shyamalan.
Brought to you by M. Night Shyamalan, Wahlburgers. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds like the timeline would line up.
And this is the wonderful timeline that we live in. This is American excellence right here. M. Night Shyamalan.
Facts.
I'm uncertain what ethnicity M. Night Shyamalan is, because in my mind, he's nothing more than American.
Oh, he's American as fuck.
Like this is the most.
You don't make these movies as coming from somewhere else. Like, you have to be American to make this shit. You have to be American to ruin Avatar: The Last Airbender the way that he did. That's a uniquely American way to ruin a uniquely American product that drew heavily from Asian cultures.
It's American through and through. There we go.
Yo, you had the white people make an Asian themed cultural awesome animated show, and then you got the Asian cultural descendant American to ruin it. So it's like, oh, is that like cultural retribution? Like, like instead of appropriation, it's just like we're taking it back.
It's like you take it and then you burn it, and then you take the ashes and then you make it into like a nice little like ash pile. It's kind of wet and moist, and then people go to the movies to go see it.
Yeah. And I think that's about it. Yeah,
that's
about it. Yeah, that's at the end of the hour.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna finish within the hour, on the hour,
on time.
Oh my god.
Yo, look at y'all are lucky. Whoever tuned in today got the most professional podcast that we have done in some time.
Yeah, and I hope y'all are enjoying this little screen thing that I got here with a little spooky eye.
Yeah, we can make it different things. This might be the main display feature.
Yeah, this probably will
for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't break it or anything, but it's super cool.
Yeah,
I really like it. It's a little thing. I don't know. It's a screen. I think it's 16 by 16 pixel art. So very cool, Kanye.
Anyway, on that note, what are we going to be discussing next week? Have we come to a final decision on that? We're going to be doing Ava?
Unfortunately, next week...
Oh, fuck. What am I talking about?
Unfortunately, next week, we're going to have another off week. I will be in Texas for a family funeral, unfortunately. But the week after that, we will be doing Tunnels.
That's it.
Tunnels. Not only tunnels in America, but tunnels across the world.
Thereby extension, China, Elon Musk, infrastructure in America, Donald Trump, Congress, Nancy Pelosi. There's a lot that's going to go into tunnels, unfortunately.
There's a lot more to tunnels than just tunnels.
Yeah. When was the last time you drove on a road in America and you were like, nice?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Never.
When was the last time you went in a tunnel in America? Just flat out.
Yeah. So we're gonna after some time off for some bereavement, we'll get back here, hot and ready to go. Yeah. And as always, you can catch us later on YouTube with some of these uploads.
Yes.
And we will be on iTunes before the end of the summer. I promise you that.
we will be gathering our shit together and kind of becoming a little more professional.
We're gonna be Pinocchios and turning ourselves into real boys. I promise you that.
We'll finally have cover arts for our various social media pages.
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, we've been slacking.
Listen, we're trying. We're trying out here. Support your starving artist friends.
It's rough, you know. But yeah, so
as always.
Well, actually, hold on before that, because I want to let everybody know that right after this, we're gonna go into the other room and watch HBO's Chernobyl, because it's so good. And I've been yelling at everybody to go watch HBO's Chernobyl.
Yeah, you should do yourselves a favor and watch HBO's Chernobyl, starring such talents as, I don't know anybody's name in that show because they're all old, but they're all very good.
The oldest Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Whoever the
He's
oldest
got a
one
weird
is.
Scandinavian
Not
name.
Alexander.
No, like the adult one.
Yeah, like the old guy one.
Like their father.
Yeah.
Stefan?
wow.
Stefan Skarsgård?
I don't know.
I don't know. He was in Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, he's
and
really
Thor,
good.
And Thor: The First Thor.
Yeah, he's really good in it.
And Avengers.
It's excellent. It has an accompanying podcast if you're into history and stuff. And whenever it does finish it, we will eventually
We'll be talking about that.
talking about it because so good. It's so
So good. It's horrifying.
Oh
And it's really happened. So you might learn yourself a thing with some drama.
yeah, it's very good.
So, yeah.
But yeah, there we go. We can cut it from here.
Yes, and then, I guess as always, I've been your host Vin,
And I've been your host Leo.
and thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of the Outsider Circle podcast.
Goodbye, everybody.
Everybody have a good night.